Right. I think we can start in 5 minutes when we have some more people. So we'll start at in 4 minutes. So until then, how's everyone doing? Hope you're taking care of yourselves. Contribution period can get a little stressful. So yeah, remember to take a break.
I've been reviewing badge tickets since 6:30 this morning.
You should also remember to take a break, Marie. That this was not just for the participants. This was also as a side note to the mentors.
Thank you for the reminder.
It's okay. I was going through it. You can like stop doing it now. I will take over now and
I think I
finish
only
off
have
the
one
rest.
more left, and I
Oh,
started writing it. So let's see.
oh,
Yeah,
then that's good.
yeah, I'm actually like almost more than halfway through that one. It's the style guide one, so it's involved.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a big one. Hello. Okay, I guess we can start now. So right off the bat, does anyone have any specific questions that they want to ask or anything that they're having trouble with? We can go through the process. I can share my screen and we can go through it together. It's okay. I am nice. I don't bite. I won't say anything. It's okay. Or if you don't have anything, you can we can just talk about your experience contributing. How are you feeling about your work and just contributing in general? I'm here for the whole hour, so
So I think another thing that might be useful is to watch you work in Inkscape, um,
oh,
if you're able to do that. I was actually working on one. Maybe you want to pick it up. Hold on, let me grab the ticket real quick.
oh yeah, you can just email me the file, or is it on a ticket?
One sec, let me grab it.
Mhm.
All right, here's the ticket. So the background is this is for using matrix slash element, right? So I guess you like get this once you've signed on and made an account there, which is cool because we want people to use the element instance. So the idea is matrix user. So you can see I commented a day ago, and this is the file I was working on. And so I was trying to make it like look more matrixy, like maybe have like a dark background with like green text, like as if you were typing in a terminal or something. And kind of give, and like I was working on making the hoodie a little bit more natural looking. Um, than some of the past suggestions also had some like drop shadows involved, so I was trying to get rid of those. Um, so I'm pretty sure you will be able to pick it up from where I've got it.
I think you're giving me performance anxiety right now
No.
because this is not an easy one. This is not an easy one. It involves a fair bit of, I feel, illustration skills.
Sure,
So
sure.
and everyone's watching. So uh,
We're we're with you. I'm here to assist and support. I'm trying to wrap up this last ticket, but I'm also here.
yeah. Okay. So just as I see the new people join, no, okay, it's just us. So we can just work on this ticket and side by side, if you have any suggestions, anything that you want to talk about, feel free to unmute or you can even send a chat and I will share my screen. Right. Okay, great. So I think you can see my screen and this is the badge. I'll just um, I think it would be better if I share my window. My whole screen. Okay, there we go. Great. So this is the badge, and I just want to see where we came from, just to get a little bit of context, and so that we don't go around in circles. I think the green panda is a nice touch because um, the matrix logo is also green, and I feel like we can play off of that. The element logo sort of, at least for me, it gives off that vibe where it would be like this. So yeah, I think that's a good start. Um, we want to make the hoodie more natural looking, so let's see. I think I'll just Google how just to get some
I
inspiration.
also I also dropped some inspiration into the Google Meet chat.
Great. Ooh, yeah. I think the background is something that we can definitely try to um, replicate in the badge. It would look really
Yes,
good.
it looks so cool.
Yeah. And
Okay, it's wild that the Matrix was made so long ago, but we're still like yes to this aesthetic, right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
made
I
a
know it's
classic.
still relevant. Right. So mm, let's see. Huh. So I okay, so let's start with this. We have this thing that we definitely do want to incorporate into the badge. So either we can do it on the screen itself or where else. Mhm.
You could put it in the background maybe,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's what
like,
I'm. Will it be too busy though? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, you could just try like a dark gray in the background and maybe make like the texts that are the texts that are happening like something on the computer screen, like a more bright green maybe, just to kind of give that feel. And then I guess
Yeah.
I would probably change the tan of the desk, quote unquote, because it just looks like
Yeah.
it's
A
taking up too
darker.
much. Yeah. Yeah, probably darker, like a light gray or something, just so
Yeah.
it's not like blending a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Let's so mm, mm. I think I'll move to like a darker, like a cooler shade, just because this was in yellow. I think a cooler shade would look better, even like a cool toned gray. I think,
Yes, I like that.
yeah. What do you guys think? It's getting interesting. So, what else? So now we can add these design elements on the screen, or we can somehow, I think it's called the hacker aesthetic. But this is sort of what we're trying to make. Like the even the way, it's just the angle is a little bit off, but this is sort of what we're trying to recreate. So even I think it would be instead of adding like let's say letters or like symbols, because the badge is very small, so any sort of small like tiny elements are not legible at all. They won't show up in the badge and they kind of make it hard to understand. We can go with this sort of okay, mm, wait, wait, sort of pixelated, like a pixel grainy thing. So we can try doing that and see what happens. I'm just going to move these elements out of the frame for now. Inkscape is a little bit slow because I have like a billion Chrome tabs open. So let's see. I feel like this is very reminiscent of pixel art. I'm not sure how to recreate this in Inkscape, so I'll just Google it. Let's see. Mm, and we'll go to YouTube. I'm not sure if my audio is being shared. We won't watch the whole thing. Just see the highlights basically. Mhm. Okay. Oh, okay. So, right. So they use rectangles. Like they made rectangles and they copy pasted it and changed the color. I'm not sure if we can do that because our screen size, first of all, is very small, and on top of that, um, we are not dealing with squares. It's all in perspective. So maybe there's a spray tool or something just to get that sort of squiggles. Squiggles how? Like
So
you
like
mean
using the which tool is it? It's hold on. Oh gosh, I know I have an Inkscape open somewhere. So many tabs open right now. As well. Give me one sec.
yeah,
It's the pen tool. Oh, it's the draw calligraphic or brush stroke.
brushstrokes?
So what if you like made like a random kind of thing? Let
I'm
me
just
share. Can I take over the screen for a sec?
I don't think so. Wait, are you saying that remote control or are you, oh wait, you want to
No,
share your
no.
screen?
Yeah, just real quick,
yeah,
and then I'll look at the
yeah,
text.
yeah.
Something like,
Ooh.
I mean, I think, okay, hold on. So here's our gray,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking this in like a light green color. Okay. Taking this in a light green color.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the stroke. We don't want that there. So like, kind of just making it look sort of random, like it's
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a challenge for sure. But let's try it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just trying to, for some reason, no way. Okay. There we go. Let's take the neon green. I think my opacity is not set. Mm, Not. There we go. So, uh, uh, mm, I'm just trying to do it quickly just to see how it looks. Hmm. Not half bad. I think I'm just going to go back to this just to get an idea of it. It's way more filled up, so we can like make it closer together if we want, right? I'm just like sort of think it would be better if I just draw more like broken strokes instead of like one big long one. That's okay. Mm, This is hard to do,
So my thought is,
especially.
I think you have enough strokes, right? So if we like take a look at this smaller, I think you can actually like group what you have, kind of a thing,
And copy
and
paste
maybe
it.
just make them like or copy paste, or just make it a little bit bigger, and then like crop it or clip it. Just like if you think about how
Okay.
small it's gonna be, you
Yeah.
could probably get it across with,
Ooh.
a little bit.
It looks like
It's getting there.
yeah, I see it, especially when it's zoomed out.
So I think you can like maybe copy and paste some of it. I do like the ones where it's more like dotted lines,
Broken.
random. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Uh I did make a mistake though. You know what I should have done? I should have worked on this on a separate layer so that I could easily select this without disturbing the other elements. That's okay. So a good thing about Inkscape that I really like is that when you're trying to select objects, you have to encase them fully to select it. And I'll show you what I mean. So I have selected the select and transform objects tool. And if I'm trying to select, let's say, the first four segments, right? Because those were the only elements that were enclosed in the dotted box, the bounding area, those are the only lines that were selected and all the other elements were untouched. So, but if I do this, we'll select all of this, right? And oh, this is one big element. So if I do this, we'll select the panda also. So that's a nice, at least it helps me a lot because this is now how it works in other design tools. Just going to delete these because these are like way too unbroken basically. And let's see, I will group these, Control G, increase the size a little bit. Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe a little bit more. And the bits to stand out. And then, okay, going to rotate this so that it doesn't look like it's the exact same thing, copy paste it twice. Then group these two together. Maybe there's an option to flatten. Um, maybe not. And then I'm just going to duplicate the screen. Let's see if this works out. I always click the wrong object. I think I did that again. Nope. What am I doing wrong?
Okay, let me try to walk you through this one. So you want to take the computer screen and clip what's underneath it, right?
The computer screen should be on top, or should the
Right,
squiggles
right,
be
right.
on top?
So just double click on the computer. I'm just curious how that's made up. Okay, so that's stroke.
But I have it separately. Like I have this screen separately.
Right, right.
It's not able to
I was
see like
referring
this.
to like you want it to be inside of like the edge of the computer,
Yeah.
right? So right now it's not going to work that way anyway because you would be clipping around the edge of the entire thing. Does that make sense?
No, I think the screen is separate. Are you
Is it?
saying that the bezel is sort of the bezel will
Yeah, because you
make
just want
yeah,
the dark gray area,
yeah.
right? I guess I would just try
Oh yeah.
creating
It's
my own object on top. So it's
yeah.
and then you
Wait,
probably have to clip it from the outside too.
it's
So
easy. We'll just duplicate this and we'll remove
take,
the stroke.
yeah, there you go.
I think that should work. I'm just sort of adjusting the size a little bit because
Just unclick your pop. What is it called? Snapping. You have snapping on.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. But I thought I was like touching my keypad. That's why
No,
like
snapping. Snapping does that. There you go.
I'm just trying to see if this is aligned. Oh, it was okay.
You can lower the opacity to see where it's landed.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. I can also change the color just so for the time being. Wait, what color was it originally? Oh, yeah, okay. Mm. We don't have to be too clean about this, I think, because we can add a border on top. And I think that would basically clean up any sort of messy edges that we have. So let's try this again. Wait, need to group, we do squiggle groups, this and wait. Interesting.
So would you like instead of going right clicking, maybe try object? This is how I do it. I would click both. Your grouped object and then that and then the second one on top. And then do object.
Oh, wait.
Maybe that's why.
There's some weird grouping going on here. Yeah. This and this should be grouped together. This and this, and then the object. Flip, set.
Yay.
Success. So, yeah, and then, wait, yeah. Okay, this is the screen. Duplicate, Control D, and if we just remove the fill, wait. Okay.
I think you just have to lower it behind the panda head.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was some. Oh, no. It just bring me.
There's a keyboard shortcut if you have it. Page down.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. I think it's set to something else because
Ah.
I
Gotcha.
always do that. Wait.
So the panda you want to bring up. You could try page up on the panda head. It's gotta be a weird grouping thing again. Oh,
Yeah,
keep going. You're getting there.
So, okay, we just need to make this like one, but no. Okay, about this. No.
So click onto your template real quick.
I just
And then-
group the whole thing together.
No, just group it all.
Yeah.
I was saying, if you click off of what you're working on, you could see if things are kind of like weirdly grouped. That does like saying click on the badge
Yeah.
template, and then like the actual badge artwork template.
Yeah. Wait, so if I just don't click anywhere else, like this,
No, you have to actually click on like another object, right? So that's what I was saying. Click on the badge template, like the pink ring or something like that. Okay, now go back and click on your stuff in there and see what happens. Okay.
I
What about the
think
badger
no,
head?
there is one thing. See, this is not grouped here. I think.
Okay. But you want to multiply the one in the front, right?
Yeah, but we want to group the whole thing together, and then we can just do this.
Yeah,
I
there
think.
you go. Oh yeah.
Then this
There
would
you
be
go.
success.
Yay.
Okay.
So I think that the monitor is like kind of blending in with the table.
And also the background a little bit.
I think if it's kind of like fine if it has like a general dark aesthetic, but like the actual two colors are like they don't contrast enough. So I would say either make one of them lighter or one of them darker. I think you could make the table a little lighter gray.
Let's see if that's the table selected. Do it. Oh, I think I want to move.
That's nice.
That's better, I think.
Okay, can you try to get that filter, the drop shadow off of that panda head? Because I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, okay. Wait, what? Oh, well, I think this is a bug.
The
Do
filter.
you see? No, so if I'm reducing the blur, which I'm assuming is doing the drop shadow.
Ah.
See, like this
All
shouldn't
right.
be happening.
Save your file now. Also try zooming out. Like after you've reduced the blur, try zooming out. Sometimes I feel like it will make the
Takes a
like it kind of does a little bit of a bug. You're right. So like try to and then like zoom out. No, that's just question mark. I have no idea, honestly. Like click on that badger head again.
Wait, I will honestly. I'm just going to deconstruct. I am going to wait. Oh, going to deconstruct it right here. See what's going on. I think. Let's see. I'm just ungrouping it, seeing what's going on. Is it? No. No groups to ungroup. But, okay. What is that? Okay.
Did you find where it was?
No. For some reason. Wait, did someone say something? How do you know? Oh, someone has left a comment in the chat. How do you know what to do on a badge? And I think the first place to look at would be the ticket description. Just to move away from this for a moment, we can look at. So this is the same ticket that we are working on right now, and this ticket basically all of this text includes everything that the basically the person who issued the ticket wants you to know why they want that badge, what it's for, what if they have any idea. So this is the best place to start off from, right? So let's say this is the badge for the matrix user, right? So here we ask what are those activities. So we get a description of why, like what are the activities that will result in this badge being awarded. So getting an account on the Fedora matrix server, right? So now we know that there is a Fedora matrix server involved. There's also this thing about signing up, right? So that could potentially be an idea there. Matrix could be a design element, right? And who is doing them, right? So that's also a good way to think about the design elements on the badge, right? So anyone with an FPC plus one group membership who wants a Fedora Matrix account. So basically any user, any contributor who wants a Fedora Matrix account. So there's no specialized user. A lot of times we have something, let's say a badge that is more, let's say, dev focused, something about security, testing. So then you might want to give the batch that sort of aesthetic where it's more like if you have a panda, so maybe that panda looks like a developer or maybe they look like a scientist, depending on who is doing this activity, right? So that is also another idea. Here it's the general public of Fedora, so uh, nothing, at least nothing that comes to me that we can do specialized here. Why are they doing them? So it's to that's also the motivation behind this activity. That's also a good source for inspiration for the batch. So let's get them all into different Fedora rooms, cool with the server name. It's also incentive to use matrix. Hmm. Right, which is a more freedom and privacy respecting than other options. So here you have some motivation, more inspiration for the patch's design elements, right? And when do they do them? So this basically helps you understand if this is something that happens annually or if it's something that can happen that we need to keep account of. So if there are events that happen annually, you might want to include the year of the event in the batch. But since this is a one-time thing, we don't need to think about adding or making this into a series or adding years to this, right? And how do they do them? So what is the actual activity? It's like either through the website or an app. Either you get the Mid Element app or either through the Element website. So that also sort of gives an idea of the possible actions that could be shown on the badge. So right now we are showing the panda um, on working on a monitor, basically doing something on a monitor. Sort of corroborates with the fact that you can also access Element on a computer, right? Otherwise, let's say if this was something that was mobile only, then it wouldn't make sense to have a monitor or a laptop screen in there. Then we could instead have switched for a mobile screen. And a lot of times the person who asked for the badge has some sort of idea in their mind of what they want or some possible suggestions that are great to start off with. So a lot of times I think that especially once when you start you don't know where to begin, and I think this is the best place to start. Like any ideas for artwork concepts, um, you can start working on this, and obviously feel free to also work on your own ideas. Sometimes and actually a lot of times you may have some other approach that the assigner, like the issuer, maybe likes better. So obviously you are free to work on your own ideas too. But if you are feeling stuck, you don't have anything, this is the best place to start. So here there was a suggestion of Element logo and the Fedora logo. And then after that, if this is a ticket that has already been worked upon, but it's basically abandoned or there's no one working on this and you're picking it up, it it makes it really easy to go through the ticket and just see other like the work that other people have done, right? So here if you scroll through this, you'll see a lot of work. So they have used this same aesthetic with the matrix and the Fedora logo, and that has done this. And then you can see that this is where we started off from. Then you can see different development of ideas. A lot of times you will see feedback also in between, so that's great, so that you don't sort of end up in the same place again, right? And you can read through this, see what their idea was. A lot of times you'll find something that the other person done that you did that you think was really clever or really nice, and you could repurpose that into your design. And yes, so here then you can see that this sort of developed into this sort of dark agent, hacker aesthetic, which is what we picked up on, and this is now what we're working on. So I hope that clears up your question. Does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll go back to working on the badge. No? Okay. Also, I'm just like going to look through the chat to see if I missed something. What if we make a pattern of bits like zeros and ones across the screen in green? Actually, that's a great idea and would give that aesthetic that we were looking for in the screen. But what would happen is, because the badges are really small size, right? The zeros and ones would probably be the size of these squiggles, right? And once you look at it like on this scale, it wouldn't look like zeros and ones anymore, right? So it's just like if the badge is this small or maybe this small, you can still get away with the squiggles, and you won't be able to comprehend, or basically it's not legible anymore, the text, when it's at a very small scale. You zoom
Right.
in, sure, you can see it,
Yeah.
but yeah, zoomed out doesn't make a lot of difference. And right now also I think zeros and ones would have worked, because this is only for like the
Ultimately,
texture.
yeah, ultimately they would have just boiled down to look like basically lines. That's why I said that
Yeah,
instead of going through the trouble of making squiggles, you can just add
yeah.
like a text 0 and 1, and when you zoom like out, they will ultimately look like
Hmm.
lines. So
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
was thinking.
yeah. That's a good idea. But if it's a text that we're supposed to read, then
Right.
yeah.
Then that
But
will be a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. So basically, here like the zeros and like the squiggles are a little bit messy. So the zeros and
Yeah,
ones
because
are,
the idea is that the rest of the design language is pretty smooth, but the squiggles are wavy and shaky, so they're not going well together. So ultimately, like if
yeah,
you look at
yeah,
lines which are more straighter, they might look better.
hmm, yeah. You're right. Absolutely right. So yeah, we will get back to this, and I think like you can also, if you are not already working on a lot of tickets, you can pick this up and try out the zeros and ones. I think it will look quite nice.
Okay, I'll get on that. I
Yeah.
actually have not picked up an issue yet, so I think this can be my first one.
Oh, yeah. This will be a great first issue then.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Now we'll try to solve the mystery of this shadow. Uh, I have no clue what's going on, because it says that this is not grouped, but this is very clearly a group. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's, can two people or more work on the same badge? Yeah, they can. Actually, collaboration is in fact encouraged, because a lot of great ideas come from that when two people are working together. Um, we don't want like, if there are a lot of people, then it can get messier, but you just have to navigate the situation really well, be respectful and mindful of the other person's work, and communicate on the ticket. And I think then like it's really nice to have multiple people working on the same ticket. I'm just trying to see how to add a drop shadow, and then we can do a reverse engineering of that.
So to add a drop shadow, you use the filter. So I think you can
You
go
use it,
to remove filter. So if you go to filters at the top,
right? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You can
Don't
click at
crash.
it. Oh no,
Don't crash.
don't crash. It's one of the drop down menus. Yep, filter.
Yeah.
Top. Yep. Then try the remove filter at the bottom. There it is.
It's that easy. Hmm.
Right. So I tried doing it. I think you might have to ungroup the objects like you did over
Yeah.
here to make it work.
Oh,
I think you're just gonna have to reclip it. Oh, there it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Um, oh, I just clip it again. Okay. Wait, I think it messed up some outlines. Oh yeah. Yeah. Something happened in okay, there we go. I think that was just a bug. Anyway, okay, I will try to select this again. Do we have yeah. Group this and now we will click this. First try. Nice. So what do you think? What else? I think we can work on the keys somehow. Maybe. Oh, wait. See, so it's like a frame. Also, I just noticed that all of these squiggles have a stroke on them, so I'm just going to remove that. I think we can also work on this, just rotate it or skew it at least a little bit because I think the perspective is a little bit off, maybe. How do you? That won't work. Hmm. I'm just trying to figure out how this was made. Yes, Sarah.
Just now with the rounding the edges. I think that looks really nice. It was just for a moment though, but
Or for the stand.
yeah, for the stand. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
it
think
looks
it
a bit better. Yeah.
yeah, and it matches the rounded edges on the computer screen too. I think there is something wrong with the perspective though. Because I think this should be straight like this. Let's see. Just trying to do a very rough sort of. Yeah, see, I think it would look better if there was a straighter edge rather than this, right? The perspective looks better.
Yes, now it looks like it's actually standing on something.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I'm not sure how this was made because I can't access, for some reason, this exact edge, the one that I need. I don't know why. So I'm just going to make one from scratch. It's just going to be easier that way. So I'm going to use this one. We'll just align this to the computer screen. Rotate it. No, wait, we won't. Then we're going to distort it. Maybe that's why. I think this is also a shape. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So converted the object to path so that we can access basically this. And I think this needs to be bumped up a little bit. I think that looks better. Yeah. Just going to remove this. Great. Now, what else can we do? I think the green of the panda is sort of clashing with the green in the screen. I don't like this area, basically. I think if this were, let's say, or no.
I kind of think it's okay. Try zooming
Yeah,
out. See what
I
happens.
think it's I think it's mainly because this particular stroke here, it's sort of like
Delete
if
that
there
one.
was nothing here. Yeah, that's what.
Or
This
edit,
is sort of
edit that one to look a little different.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, a lot of improvements in this one. Oh. Also, just try to like this and this. Yeah. Oh.
Do you think that the keyboard should be the same color as the monitor?
Yeah.
Try it. It might be too light. I don't know.
The color or the keyboard?
The keys or the keyboard. I feel like the
The
white.
keys are definitely too light, yeah.
Yeah, the white is like stark.
Hmm. Okay. So I'm just going to pick this, put the stroke, I'm going to pick this. Okay, we have a matching set. I think that looks better. What if I'm going to move this down for a second. Stick this and see. What do you think about the dark keys instead of like light keys?
Maybe.
Yes, Sarah.
Which? Oh gosh, sorry.
Yeah. No worries. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, I was thinking, since we've made the keys darker, maybe we should move the keyboard up a bit so it kind of shows a little bit more. Because I think when you zoomed out, the keyboard kind of things can't really kind of big. So maybe if we're making the keys a bit darker, we can move the keyboard up just a little bit.
Yeah. The keys are basically getting they're covered by the paws of the panda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, Marie?
I think you could lift it up a little bit. And I'm debating on the colors. I think you might have to unclip it if you're going to raise it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what, because there was some messy thing happening with the clipping here.
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, I got scared for a second because the whole thing changed. Then I remembered that was just a
Don't
background.
forget to
repeating.
save.
Yeah, I think that if we make this. Okay. Might have to look at the edge of this keyboard also. These are keys, yeah, okay. Uh, mm, I'm just trying to see. I'm not 100% sure about how the keyboard looks right now. Firstly, because I feel that this color also highlights the keys and they don't look like keys right now. Sort of looks like a frame. How might we make it better? Hmm. Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, maybe we could put a few like tiny white dots on the key spaces just to help that a little bit.
To indicate basically letters, sort of symbols on the keys.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
just like tiny dots.
Let's see. Um, okay. These are two small elements for me to handle accurately. Not bad, but I still think that it's two-dimensional right now. And I think we can somehow think of something to make it look more like a keyboard. I think someone was saying something.
I was about to maybe say something. But I was also going to point out that there's only 5 minutes left.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
thinking maybe save this file and add
See?
it to the ticket.
Yeah, I'll just clip it again just so that
Yeah.
doesn't look like a mess. Yeah, and I will update it.
And then just to check and see if anyone has other questions, we can help. I know I provided a ton of reviews today. So
Yeah.
maybe if any of that was confusing, I don't know.
Mhm. Because you have both Marie and me today, so anything that you want to ask, feel free.
Smira, I had a doubt. So,
Mhm.
you mentioned that I could work on the idea that I had on this particular badge
Mhm.
and work alongside. So,
Mhm.
for that, I checked the issue number. It's 808, right, in the open issues.
Yes.
So, I just need to use the SVG file, which I think Marie has uploaded there,
Yeah.
um, and then just make my edits and just upload it there along with a brief description of what I've added and then just wait for a review. Is that the process which will be followed?
Yes. Yes. So basically, you use the SVGs, you work on them, and I'm going to upload this one. So because there are other changes, you can mess around with the squiggles, delete them. So this will be the latest copy that you can work off of.
Right.
And then it would also be just a great addition to add a PNG also. So you can actually export PNGs. Why I prefer PNGs is someone who is not using Inkscape can easily
Open it
just,
and check.
yeah, they can see the PNGs on the ticket itself. right? So the
Right.
SVGs don't load, but the tickets do, the PNGs do. So I think that it's just really easy to for other people to look at it. So the way to export it is just to go to the export options. The shortcut is Control Shift V, and then make sure that you are exporting the page. So the whole page will be exported, and it's exporting at 96 dpi. The defaults will be changed,
Okay.
right? And so the width and height should be 256 by 256. That's really important. Otherwise, the badge size will be messed up in the repo
All
if it
right.
gets pushed. And
Okay.
yeah, then just choose the directory, and then you can export it wherever you want. Just going to, I need a folder. Um, Might have made it in the wrong place. Anyway, yeah,
Okay. Cool. So then, do I need to explicitly ask in the chat to get this issue assigned, or I can just start working on it?
you can just start working on it. We are not assigning issues right now because multiple people can work on the same ticket. So just
Alright.
leave a note saying that you're also working on it,
Mhm.
and you can start working. And you can work on up to 3 tickets at a time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think someone had their hand up. Yes, Sarah.
Okay, so I wanted to say thank you to Marie for providing reviews on the tickets I was working on earlier. On issue, I think it's issue 863 or so, she dropped a comment about how the style guide isn't the style guide we're currently following is also being updated as we speak. So some of the reviews, because that issue was about updating the badges to follow the style guide, but then the style guide is also being updated at the same time. So I will definitely take note of the things that she said and then work on the reviews according on the updates accordingly. But I was just wondering because I had earlier seen the ticket about updating the style guide. So I was just wondering what what exactly should we do considering the fact that the style guide we're following is also being updated. So by the time we upload some badges, they might not be following the new updates to the style guide.
I can go ahead and answer that if you want me to. Okay. So basically, just to give a little bit of background, what's happened over the years is people haven't followed the style guide in a variety of ways, whether that means the export size. Like if you take a look at the badges explore page, you will see that some are at different sizes, right? So they should be at 256 by 256. So any of those that are exported at the wrong size can be like added to that ticket, right? The other ones are that needs to be pointed out there are ones that just maybe have artwork that kind of slipped by and might not be up to standards, or it could just use an improvement, right? So you'll see a lot of different styles in the badges. So what we're trying to do is make them more similar to each other. So some just do need improvements. And I can maybe give an example of that in the chat so that and like kind of explain what I feel like needs improving so you can get an understanding of what we mean. But the badges style guide is going to have things added onto it. Samara and I have like a very good understanding of the aesthetic here. So we're going to guide you through that on the ticket designs. And right now we're just looking at like the aesthetic of the style guide, right? Like the layout, the format, the composition. We're not necessarily updating the content, though there will be small updates to the content. So what we want to do is make the badges that are out there fit into the style guide better. And as we notice maybe some patterns there, we can make additions to the style guide as we're updating the aesthetic. Does that make sense?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I hope that helps. I know it's a little bit confusing. We definitely have a lot going on all at once. And like I mentioned, like I should have outlined a little bit more about like the different styles, right? Like we have illustration styles. We like people really get excited about the illustrations. We don't like there's nothing against the more simple designs. Those also do really well. But the illustrations kind of make people feel special. Like this matrix user one we're doing, like it's a full illustration. So therefore, the background of it doesn't need to follow like a certain specific color reference, if that makes sense. Okay, great. I see we're actually over time. So I'm going to take both of the recordings from this one and the one we did yesterday and make them available as unlisted on the Fedora YouTube, and I'll share those back into the channel. All right.
We do have a hand raise. So I'm happy to take that like as a last sort of closer. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask while working on some badges, when I downloaded them from Fedora Badges, I realized on opening them that some of the content are really spilling out of the badge for some of them. Are we allowed to make changes to them and put them on the tickets that says to find something wrong with some of the badges, or should we just use them like that?
Are you saying that there is content outside the page, basically?
No, like they're not properly clipped. Some of them are not properly clipped. So even though at
okay.
small magnification it looks okay, by the time it is expanded, you can really see that they're not fitting in.
I think it would be a good idea to add these badges to the list of badges to be improved, because a lot of times some of the badges are pushed already, and if they have these changes, these minor changes, we might not have someone else to push the badge again. So it would be good to add these. There is a list basically that has, like, I think that's an issue, compiling all the badges that need improvement, right?
Yes,
So you can just, so you can just add the badge link and note what is happening, what's the issue there. And then I think it would be a better idea to collectively work on it, because the badge template itself will be updated and changed. So it's a good idea to work on it at once. Right, Marie?
Sorry, just finding the tab. Yes, if you find ones that are over that middle area, I would recommend noting them. I'll just say this. A couple of the designs are working conceptually, if you will, by going out of that badge area. But other ones, if it's just like random, if it's just letter or numbering or something like that, that should really be included into that center area. And the one that I'm thinking of, I can actually pull up real quick. Just real quick, if I can get to that.
Is that the gold badge?
It might be. Let's see.
There is a bronze badge or something that has stuff overflowing, but that's the design intention.
Quick example here. So an example of one that I think works conceptually is this one right here. If it will load for us. This one, like it's it's the bleed is kind of just like dripping over a little bit, as if it's bleeding out, right? Then there's other ones where I'm like, this doesn't necessarily make sense. Like this one here, actually. I think this is a really cool badge, but I see no reason why these snakes are poking out, especially since it's cut off on this side, but not on this side. And I think this lettering could just be reduced just a little bit to fit inside, right? So conceptually, that one doesn't work. Another one that's kind of working with the concept, I think, is this one. Oops, I just accidentally lifted it out. Because it just, it has some bubbles floating, right? And if you think about bubbles, they kind of just go everywhere. So that's one where I'm like, I think that works conceptually. And then I think there's these ones up here in the content area. Like, I'm not sure if this is necessary. Like, I think that this could easily be, made just a third smaller or something and fit inside of the design. Like same here. You could just kind of rearrange the elements that exist already to make it fit inside. So I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Great. Then I think then we can end the session. Thank you all for coming, and I hope that this was informative for you also and useful. And feel free to ask any questions in the Matrix chat room. And yeah, all the best. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye,
you.
everybody. Thank you, Smith.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.